Good show, boys.
As always, we always give him a good show. Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you are. Good morning. I don't know, whatever it is.
Salutations, exalted ones.
Look, Lax in the chat. I don't know who that is. Never heard of him.
How do you like my new logo?
We have got a special guest this week, a special council member, Mr. Duffman. Mr. Duffman.
How's it going, everybody?
Because we're going to be talking about customs, and this is the custom master. Custom master. I look, he's in the chat as well.
Oh, hey, Duffman.
Mr. Lobot. And Pete as well.
Pita.
Right, who wants to go first? The council is in session, and we're going to talk about customs. Shall I go first? Or who wants to go first?
Marc. Oh, wow.
Oh, look at it.
Oh!
Oh, no. He knows I love that.
This is what started the whole diorama thing for me.
Oh, I love that. I need all those gremlins. I need all those gremlins.
That's awesome.
I've made about 15 sets of these theater seats.
There's Marc's here as well.
I'm very impressed with your work, sir.
Thank you.
Very impressed.
So yeah, the discussion I think tonight is just like it's a serious discussion. It's not going to be really serious, but basically, what we want to find out is tonight: do we like customs? Obviously, we've got two customers here. I do like customs. I have got a few, but we want to discuss and just see what everybody feels about it, because repro is different from customs,
right?
And we're going to talk about bootlegs versus customs as well. So I just wanted to go on.
It's having something that nobody else has.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah,
that's what makes it custom.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's the point I want to get across. Is I mean, I'm going to show you a Stan Solo custom, but it's not a custom because it already exists.
Well, it's a replica, right?
Replica, repro, whatever you want to call it, that already exists, so it's not really a custom.
Right, it's not a custom.
The figure into making this.
It's produced, even if it is his original idea. I don't want to step on your toes, Marc, but even if it is an original idea,
step on my
completely, toes, as soon as you have it produced by multiple people, even if it's you and your kids, if it's produced, it's not custom, it's production. And those of us who have ever worked, and I'm just saying we've all plants and factories and shit, right? That's the difference between an artist in their studio making a custom or art versus a production line of people making a bunch of the same shit. So a replica, a repo, reproduction, it's a matter of if it's done as a production item. I can make my own replica of a figure, but I've only done one, so it's a custom. But as soon as I hop on a plane to Malaysia and get some molds made, and I have a whole bunch of motherfuckers pumping them out, now that's a production product, right? So,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well,
the thing is, this is actually made by an ex-Kenner employee. So, can you call it it's not an official. I'm never going to be able to afford that. So, that's the only reproduction I do have.
Yeah. Is that a Ninja Turtle?
No, that's a gremlin. That's the bandit gremlin.
Oh, wow.
And NECA just come out with this head sculpt. It came in that set that comes with the cocoon and then the Mogwai and the Corvette. Well, before I even knew NECA was coming out with this one.
Yeah.
This was a custom one.
That's my boy right there. He said, those dirty motherfuckers won't make that. That's awesome. Very cool, sir.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Now, would you still say that's a custom?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the one you made, right? You made that.
I did not make this. No.
Oh.
NECA
Well, who
made
made it?
NECA made the gremlin. I don't know
Okay.
how to knit or sew or none of
It's
that.
a custom accessory, isn't it? Let's put it that way.
Somebody actually did make this though, and we had to take the ears off of the gremlin, of course, because you couldn't have the ears on there.
Yeah.
And she had to literally, whatever you call that, knit that around the head. You can't
Right.
take it off. It don't come off. So somebody else.
Yeah,
made
that's
it.
a custom.
So
No, that's a custom.
it's a.
That's a custom, absolutely. Why wouldn't it be a custom? I'm just asking. Why wouldn't it be?
Because now there's all these floating around.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing. It's just not the same. It's just like I see what you're saying, but like it's just it is a custom. If you and your friend brainstormed it and made it, and it's not something anybody else
Personally,
can
myself,
do.
I prefer this custom over this, just for the simple fact that it is a custom, and somebody had to put some actual time. This wasn't pumped out on a machine like this was.
Right. Yes. Well, I agree with you. And if I may, because I have a very strong opinion about that, I think that that goes back to customs are art. You know, if you have to buy every figure in the wave in the line, those are all production products. And like you might be collecting them, but there's different levels of collecting, right? At some point you might be consuming. Now the caveat to that might be carded collectors who love the artwork on the card. Now you're appreciating an individual person's artwork. Now it's not even really about the figure, right?
It's handmade by somebody, and like you said, it's their artwork.
Yeah, so I think that's so there's different levels, right? Mark said that a collector may start with Funkos, which people may or may not agree with that, but let's just use that as a base level, right? So you start collecting Funkos and bottle caps, and then you start collecting Hasbro mass-produced products, and then one day you say, "Wow,
there are custom Funkos."
And then, are there? I'm sure there's custom everything, but I'm saying once you get to that level, it's art.
Yeah,
right. It's like do you buy your artwork for your art gallery? I would have a custom one. I'm just saying. I think that's the difference, y'all. It's a different level. It's consuming products versus appreciating art and saying, I really like this fucking shit in my house. When you buy a sideshow, that's the evolution, right? People go from the figures to this and that, and then all of a sudden you're at sideshows and you're at Hot Toys, and they're very expensive, and they're like a statue. They're limited editions. They're still produced, but they're limited. The next thing next to that is to have a bronze statue made by fucking Da Vinci of you as fucking, Jedi Luke. Right? I'm just saying that's how it works as a human.
That's so like a selfish
yeah. Look at that. That's beautiful.
See if you can find another one of these somewhere.
Oh.
No, you can't. And Duffman, if I told you right, is
that for sale? I'll buy that off you.
Actually, I was gonna put it up for sale.
Yeah, I'll buy that off you.
It's beautiful.
Definitely.
It's beautiful. And look, even if Duffman made another one, it wouldn't be the same. Because it's handmade by one person. So even then, it's not production. And like, look at samurai swords, or look at people who made firearms in the 1700s, right? They can trace all of these things that they made, and you can see the evolution of their artwork, right? The lock work of a certain gunsmith's shit changes because he learned something. The metaller, right? So it's a flowing evolution of his artwork, but it is a product that he made, right? And it's just in today's world, I don't think people think like that, because we're going to Walmart and looking at shit that's mass produced, and we're saying, God, I really fucking, right? I'm just saying, when you look at that thing and you start saying, oh, well, this and that, it's like, you might be playing the wrong game there. If you want to talk about the card back and the artwork, you say, oh, I think this is too grainy. This is too dark. the shadow is coming from two different directions. Your light source is wrong. Okay, that's a critique for artwork. That's cool. But sometimes people aren't talking like that, and I think that's the difference. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. I just get real excited.
No.
Someone the other day was really hating on customs, and they were like grouping in bootlegs and reproductions and replicas and customs, and they said it's not art. And I just was like, I didn't even know I was offended, but I was like, this motherfucker, like, obviously he's never seen Duffmans shit, because that's fucking art. Holy shit. Like, fuck you guys. So anyway, I fucking love customs.
This is what I prefer to make, as to, like, say, a diorama that is from like a certain movie. Like Dave's Dimension should have got his diorama today of the Ghostbusters firehouse.
Yeah, that was really nice.
That was something that exists in a movie.
Yeah.
This don't exist nowhere. This come from here. That's the only place this came from.
Beautiful.
That's it. Fantastic. I love that.
And I prefer making my own stuff over making a diorama of, like, Ghostbusters.
That is art, isn't it? That is art. That is art.
Yeah.
Because
if
you're reproducing other people's art, it's still art, but it's from your own head. That makes it so much better. You feel a lot
better to create something out of your own head as to something somebody else has made or done or.
Oh, it's definitely a different type of art, I would say, right? Because, like, in art class, right, you start off with maybe like the bowl of fruit and the grid on your page, and you're really supposed to make a replica of that.
Yeah,
you're making a replica of it, and then at some point when you're famous or possibly dead, right, when you sneeze paint on the canvas and you cut your ear off and bleed on it, they go, fucking brilliant, and so. So there is.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, well, I mean, no, don't do that. But
that's funny you say it. That's the exact thing my art teacher did the entire time I was in high school art. Was she would take all the desks and put them in a big circle, and in the center of the room, she would set this monstrosity up, and it would have like tricycles and flowers and window panes and doll babies and you name it. She would just pile it all in one big pile in the center of the room and say, draw it,
All right, yeah.
And that's...
I had a teacher that did that too.
My entire life, so that's where these dioramas stem from, is my artistic side.
I think dioramas are very, like, I don't know. I know some artists. My mother is actually a fairly accomplished artist, but I'm not saying I am. I'd love to be one, but I recognize it. I recognize stuff, We're
not that lucky.
Is Mac dying? No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Why would he ask that? Anyway, I lost my point now. Anyway, I was saying spatial art versus. There's a word for it, but like. The thing that you made that's for the gargoyle, that's your own mind, like, that is amazing. But then to see somebody like what's his name? I love him to death. Daniel Chart, the Michael Caine of Star Wars. He replicates the scene, and like, that is art too. I would not say that that's not art, because you know what is definitely spatial about that is all day he's walking around taking his kids to soccer or whatever, and he sees a cat, and he goes, "Son of a bitch, there's the fucking table," right?
Yeah. I mean,
I think, and like,
you're an artist, you look at the world differently, totally differently. You look at things as shapes.
I'm not even going to go into the amount of crap that I have that most people would just call crap.
Right? Yeah. No, I yelled at my old lady the other day. I said, "Don't throw that cap away." I think I actually sent you a picture a long time ago, Duffman, of this cat that looked like like a thruster on a ship. I sent that to Daniel Chart too. I was like, "Motherfucker, look at this," And it was like a whole conversation. It's like, "Oh, is that the back of a Naboo starfighter?" No, it's a Gorilla Glue cat. But it is
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. Exactly. So even if you're making an exact replica,
about that just before about his art books and sculptures were stolen. Yeah, all my artwork for my art degree went missing. So it does happen. I mean, Duffman was saying that just before, that the teachers steal things.
Here, I got
That's
one for
ridiculous.
you. In my art teacher's classroom, she had an office in the classroom that stayed locked. And I was working on a drawing. It was about 24 by 36 of a leopard sitting in the jungle on a tree looking back at you. And all I got done was the leopard. That was the only thing I had done in the whole picture was the leopard. And I locked it in her office to keep it safe. And it just happened to disappear out of a locked office. So every art teacher I
She
had
probably
stole my
saw it.
work.
Is that a leopard or is that a cheetah?
Yes, he is a naughty boy, and he's a really naughty boy. My degree was just I did a portfolio just of Star Wars, and that went missing. All my artwork went missing. Gutted.
Hello, hen. I'm gonna make some underwear for myself out of this.
So yeah, I mean, I've put
Take it away, Mark.
I've put these things up like repro. Repro is different customs. We've gone through with that. That's a reproduction.
Yeah. Well, is it? Yeah, it's different.
That is the custom.
Yeah. Okay, but Mark, check this out. Here's a scenario, so we're not. If you say, "Hey, Lack or Duffman, I really love Atha Prime from the Lost Wave. Can you make me one of those?" Okay, it is a replica of that character, but it's never really been made, so it's a custom.
Well, no, that's
so a
it.
Reproduction, right? So a reproduction can be a custom. It is a matter of the artist. But if you buy a Stan Solo fucking figure,
they call those customs, but it's not a custom.
Those aren't, because those are mass produced.
Yeah,
I think
it's a reproduction of something that already exists.
Basically, they took what already exists and made more of them from what already exists. They've used what already exists as a mold to make the new ones. So that's a reproduction to me.
I didn't know. I may not understand exactly how he does his shit, but I thought that his figures are actually produced like in a factory, right? Like they're not him making them.
No, they're made from molds, obviously.
Okay, but and everyone can buy the same one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's an action figure company. He's an action figure company. That's all. It's not a custom. Now, when he was Duffman hanging out in his garage, cutting action figures apart and saying, "Look, I made this," that's a custom. You know? I'm going to tell you my father and I used to run a business, and it was all about the artwork of it. And because of whatever, selling out, and because that's what people do and all that shit, it became a production business because we had a thing that was so awesome that everybody wanted that, and that was going to pay the bills. Well, then all of a sudden we were two motherfuckers who were working at a goddamn job that was production, and fucking we didn't want to do that, right? So my old man, he fucking sold all the shit, and he was like, "Fuck this," because deep in his heart, he doesn't know this, but I think deep in his heart, he's an artist, right? He used to fucking weld underwater and be a cowboy. He's punched the clock for every fucking body, and he wanted to do his own thing, but then his own thing was so awesome that it be turned into a production. And he didn't want it. Sorry. And so I'm just saying, if your shit is made on machines and you're pumping them out, it's not a fucking custom. It's not.
No,
now,
exactly.
if
Duffman does customs.
Right. But if Duffman took a Jawa, if Duffman took an original Jawa, took it apart, made his own silicone mold, his own silicone mold, and then made one, and then found vinyl and cut it out and said, "Look at my reproduction."
Make something different.
That's a custom reproduction. So I'm just
different. Customs to me is making something different.
I'm not trying to get all pissed off.
Already exists.
Okay, now
one time it can exist, but it's just you made it.
We've all seen customs online. Okay, take say a NECA Predator figure. Somebody paints it and is trying to sell it for 3 times what it's worth, calling it a custom. Is that a custom?
Yeah.
It's just a repaint. That's what Hasbro do.
Now it is.
See, personally myself, I don't
it is.
consider that
The guy
custom.
can call it a custom, can't he? Hmm.
Now
What did you do
I've
custom
got
to
some
it?
customs from
Is it painted like?
Trash Compactor guy. He sent me this box full of customs. It's full of customs. I haven't put them all together yet. I've got like the best spin escape layer, and like it's just like molded these figures and the medical layer and just a few different figures, and he's molded these. So like for me, those have not come out before. There is a Vlix in there which has come out before, but obviously it's same as that. I'm not gonna be able to afford a proper one. But like I've been 3D printing these Playmobil style Star Wars figures.
Mm.
So what would you call that a custom?
I mean, yeah. Does a Star Wars Playmobil? I've seen Star Wars Playmobil customs. If you type that on eBay, there are people making them. So, yeah, but yours is a custom.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there's not one like it except the one
But
you made, right? So it's one of a kind.
But are you really making it? Like, did you
Well, that's a
actually
different.
design the STI?
I'm getting the file
to
from somebody who's
download?
making them. I'm getting the file from somebody who's making them and 3D printing them.
Right, right. Now, but that's a different conversation. That's the conversation of whether it's art or not. I think that's a different conversation. I get what you're saying, Duffman. But I think that is honestly a different question. Because it is a custom, right? I mean, I guess I can get the files and I can print it, but is it going to be the same? No, it won't be.
So Lobot's saying painting a figure is customizing.
Yeah, I think painting it is to a degree, yeah. Now, is it make the value $500? I don't know. It better be awesome. You know, I've seen people pay shit.
I've got a video to show of when I went to the Palatoy exhibition of the figures that they have customized there, and that is just painting basically. So you might be right there, Lobot. I'm not sure. So like something like Stan Solo copies, but a custom can sometimes be works of art and really cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, nice to see you, Brett. I hope Brett's at work. I hope it's not shitty.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
We just had a storm, and well, the cold front's over now, but I'm sure where he's at, it's still shitty.
It's like summer here today.
Yeah, Duffman. Last night it was fucking. It was like 23 degrees. I'm like making sure the water's dripping and shit. This morning I wake up at daylight. It's fucking 87. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. This is not paradise. This is bullshit.
And saying, hey, strip the paintwork of a doll's face and repaint them. Now, I wouldn't call that a custom. I would call that repair or what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out.
Just reconditioning. I mean,
recondition. Yeah.
Reconditioning.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, I agree with you, but here's the caveat. Is it caveat? Caveat. Here's what I'd have to say to him. Is the person painting it to look like it did, or are they making it, like, hey, I'm not the same color as this doll. I'm going to paint this color the same color I am, or I'm going to make this look like my auntie, right? So I think that's what would make it a custom. Otherwise, it might be fixing it. But that's a good point. Is a doll? That's the other thing. How can we talk about toys? Hey, BOE. How you doing, brother? How come we talk about toys like it's anything different than antique furniture or antique firearms or artwork, right? Like, there's people out there paying millions of dollars for like whatever Adolf Hitler cityscape from 1922 and using college. Like, what the fuck? I'm just saying, like, if you're collecting it and you're paying money for it, if somebody looks at this figure and says, "Oh my God, I love that," and I say, "Well, it's going to be $150," and they go, "Fuck yeah," right? And then right, I'm just like, okay.
So repainting them to look different I suppose it's customizing.
Okay, then that's a custom.
Yeah,
that's a custom.
Yeah.
Is this a custom?
No.
I just put eyeballs in it. What if I buy an entire? I'm just saying, like, what's a custom? What's art? What's
Okay.
any of that
I
shit?
call repent to repent. Creating a character from different parts
Here you
of
go.
the paint is adding clay is a custom. There you go. Mr.
Is
B, you
Oh,
should be on here.
this a custom? Hold on. Now
Is
look.
that the one? Is that your brother?
I had I had a gremlin. I
What's
broke
that?
his leg off. At the time, my brother was missing a leg, so I went out and got him a wheelchair and just wrapped his legs up.
Oh, cool.
Well, he had one leg, and my brother lost his other leg.
You do that with most necker,
Before
though,
he
don't you?
died, I broke the other leg off and then wrapped it up with some gauze and got him a wheelchair. And the only thing custom I really did was make the little custom joint in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only is that a custom, but that is like that is a totem. That shit's gonna make me cry. Don't even fuck with me about this. That is a totem to your loved one. Are you kidding me? That's heavy shit. That's the pinnacle. Have you ever seen like totem poles that natives make?
Here.
You know, have you ever done cave drawings? Like that's what you just did. That's a different.
I thought a custom. You take an original item, modify it, paint it different from the original. Yeah. So
I don't know if you modify and paint it. Is there like a fucking, is there fucking? Why is everything got to be categorized?
Like Duffmans building things from scratch. So would you call that a custom?
Absolutely. It checks that box. It checks that box.
Because
it's not all that it is.
You're not actually customizing anything. You're building something, aren't you?
That's where you get into the art aspect, but you have to look at it as a
custom.
100% custom, baby. You can't get it nowhere but here.
This is like 10. This is like 10% custom.
Right. Yeah.
Because I didn't. The only thing that I really made was the joint. That's it. This is a wheelchair for wrestlers, and that was the naked gremlin.
A crafter. That's a good name for it. Because it is a craft, isn't it?
Somebody would
crafting something.
Excuse me. Somebody would call that a kit bash, Duffman. If people really wanted to get all, but you made a totem to your brother. So, like that to me,
actually, what it was
that's what I'm trying to get away.
To pose a freaking gremlin to put in a damn chair, and I broke his leg off, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah, but it's the whole story, man. The first time Duffman told me that story, motherfuckers, I had to take time away from life. It was beautiful. No, I'm serious. It was beautiful. I'm not even fucking trying to be an.
BOA wants you to put a goldfish in your water.
You should have been here earlier. I drank them already. This is nightmare fuel. What? Oh, really? That's my friend.
That can be customized.
I think it has to do with intent. Yeah. Well, look. Don't you remember when they painted the Virgin Mary out of shit? And there was the whole conversation: is this art? Or they hang a urinal? Is this art? I mean, it's all about the intent. If you hung the urinal up to be shocking, to make people converse about if it's art, it may not be art. If you are literally doing it to make a political statement, maybe it's art. But it's all about the intent of the person. And so it's really not for any of us to fucking label or judge somebody else's fucking shit. To be honest,
we're not trying to label stuff always. We're just trying to get.
No, but that's what inevitably it is.
Really.
Flash that thing up. It says, "Is repo custom?" I'm just saying, whack. Yeah, I did. It's okay.
Jetty.
If I get him, I can get him back out within the next 45 minutes. He'll probably be all right. The silence is deafening.
I love a lot of self-convincing.
Oh yeah, you do? From who?
Well, I'm not. I'm here just as a moderator, really. I have not really an opinion at it at all, really. But I have, I suppose.
You're such a liar.
I've got, I just let people collect the way they want and customize the way they want.
Well, And that's true. But then when somebody makes a statement, oh, that's not a custom, or they say, oh, this is a custom. Well, now it's open for like, well, you know what, motherfucker, I don't think it is. So I'm just saying that's why we're here, right? Now, I would agree that me and Duffman and probably you, and I think most people in the chat don't have any hate for customs.
No. I hate's a bad word. I don't hate anything in the toy collecting community.
Right.
From a couple of YouTube channels, but
what about collecting though?
What about what?
Yeah, we don't talk. What about just collecting in general? What about the guy down the street who collects fucking, Chinese vases? I mean, does he not maybe feel the same things about his collection when he looks at it that you do? And is it art? Like, all the things still apply to that conversation.
Like what
right?
you want. Man.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like I'm starting to collect the Action Force at the moment, and I know that once I collect all those figures, that there's variants and customs to get as well.
Have you gotten into that with your Star Wars bootlegs and customs and different?
Not really, no, because Star Wars is a totally different beast, isn't it? Star Wars is a totally different toy from any other toy going, especially vintage Star Wars. There's just, I don't know. It's just not. It's not the done thing. I don't think.
Is it not?
No, because I'm going into the Action Force community now, and they love the community. They love getting the figures and repainting them, and
Well, they almost have to because they don't have shit to have. But like BOE and
we've got all the Action Force and the GI Joe figures. GI Joe is the biggest toy line ever, so they don't really need to customize any of the figures. They've already got
a lot of our boys killed, didn't it? Oh shit, was that too heavy for y'all? Sorry. I customized my Saturns.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Night Rider, don't you?
That's awesome. I thought there was a Uranus joke in there.
No, we all hate Hasbro. Fuck Hasbro.
Hey, check out my new video after this, the Mattel versus Hasbro. Extreme to the max. Hey, Duff, check this out, Duffman. I've already ripped a bunch of this. I bought this at Hobby Lobby for $11. I was walking around looking for other shit, but I saw this. And it had a roof on it that wouldn't come off, and it had a chimney that looked awful, and it had some sort of weird porch that it was not cool. But I already ripped all that off. But check it the fuck out. There's our handy dandy French Zouave. But like, motherfucker, that's some Playmobil. That's some Playmobil action right there, isn't it? That's a Playmobil action. I wanted to show that to Duffman because I just think that's really for $11.
Mother's got a question.
Oh yeah.
Knockoffs, customs. Well, I've already put that.
It's all about the intent.
Bootlegs versus customs. Bootlegs are totally different from customs because they are mass produced in countries that didn't get the figures. It's like the Star Wars, say Russia, Poland, Mexico. When they didn't get the figures, they made bootlegs.
But that's not really. They're not. A bootleg's not. A bootleg's not a custom. A bootleg is a copy.
Yeah.
Right. Now, in those countries, I'm just asking a question. In those countries, they never tried to tell anybody, hey, this is the real thing, though, right? They're like, this is our version. We're the ones that call them bootlegs, right? Because over there, I'm just saying, if you were talking to a 50 to 30 to 40-year-old Star Wars fans over there, they wouldn't call their shit bootlegs, right? They'd say, this is my figure, and I love Star Wars. So I think that I'm just saying, right? it's just a question. I'm not supporting the Iron Curtain or any bullshit like that. I'm just asking a fucking question.
Russia made all the bootlegs because they didn't get the Star Wars figures, so they had to make their own figures.
So do you know who's Mexico,
Turkey,
yeah. I'm sure there's other
Turkey
countries
made the best one.
Do you know
Argentina.
who's big into collecting those is BOE and Action Figure Grader, because once they've collected and graded everything, right? I think if we go back to that term of evolution, and they're using they're doing it in Star Wars. They've collected all that everything vintage, everything 9.9, fucking and then it's like, well, what's next? What is the next rap? Well, bootlegs, okay. And then what would be next after that? I don't know. Artwork, one of a kind artwork. Who knows? I'm just saying there's an evolution. There's an evolution. Ha ha ha, Lobot is trolling the trolls. Get him, Lobot.
So I'm going to show you now these
yeah, show us.
customs.
Here's my kit bash, Lobot. Lobot will fuck you up.
Those are prototypes. There's a
love that.
prototype Robo Skull. There's my finger. There's my finger. That's great artwork, great camera work. So yeah, here we go. We've got the customs here. Look at these. These are Star Wars mini rigs painted in Action Force colors.
Righteous. Super righteous. You know who'd be fucking
I look
pissed?
at that there. And I get my finger out of the way.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's awesome.
How cool is that?
I think that's fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So, Action Force, it's a thing that they customize the figures. I love these. I love these mini rigs. I was thinking about doing some myself. I was thinking about doing some myself.
Awesome.
I think
those are fucking awesome. I'm not even like a big Action Force dude, but I see the love. You know what I mean? I think that's fucking great. I support all that shit.
I'm gonna go go down and get some G.I. Joe stuff. I think this week and customize it into Action Force.
Oh yeah, you should.
Yeah, the Hiss tank. I can get the Hiss tank for £30. I'll just repaint it. I know they did actually do the Red Shadow Hiss tank in red. So I don't know. I might do it in red. I might not. I'll see. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
So are you gonna do? You don't know if you're gonna do a replica of, or if you're gonna do your own version.
Yeah, I don't want to do the same because I can go just buy it anyway. So I think I might do something like Q Force or something like that.
That's very cool. I think that's very cool. I just did a video, which people may remember, but I got JD sent me this awesome Y-wing, which was obviously just junked. But I washed it up and I gave it a little white because I had to cover this yellow so I could look at it. And like, I want to do a whole thing of like World War II.
Well, you're going to do the double seat X-wing fighter, are you?
I am, but I need yes, absolutely. But I'm looking for another junk. I'm looking for all the parts. You know what I mean? I've sent everybody that picture. And some people didn't even know that exists. I think that's what's interesting. I have a couple friends who are die-hard Star Wars, die-hard motherfuckers. And I showed them, I was like, check this out. And they're like, what the fuck is that bootleg bullshit? And I was like, no. This is the fucking Kenner Lost Wave. Like, this is official. This should officially make you hard. Because this isn't bullshit.
Would that be classed as a custom, though?
I mean, if I made it now, yeah, it's a custom.
But
because
is it a prototype? Is it a custom of a prototype?
it's a custom made replica. And if I mass produced them in fucking China, which I wouldn't, but if I did, they would still be a replica, but they wouldn't be a custom replica. They'd be a product. And that's just how business, right? That's different. That's why you have to get fucking tax fucking stamps and you have to get business license. I'm just saying there's an official fucking there is a fucking officialness to it, right? If you're making them and selling them at the flea market, they're custom.
Yes,
all right. When the motherfuckers, when you have to file taxes on shit, it's not a custom.
Okay, can we say that a custom almost has to be one of a kind?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I think that
because just like you said, even if I make this again.
It would not be
the exact same.
No, it wouldn't. Even if you tried, couldn't say it. Still would be one of one, right? Yep. And that's the difference between that and like Hot Toys, right? Hot Toys will tell you this is one of 5,000. because they are all the same. Now, one of them might have a defective part, but if Duffman made that 1,000 times, they would still be one of one because the paint's not the same. The stained glass isn't the same. The windows aren't going to be the same dimension. Now, if he invested in a press and a cutting machine and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, well, now he's producing them. Now they are not custom.
Yeah. So,
even
though that's a custom, it's mass produced.
Right. If it's mass produced, it's not. It's a replica.
So it's not a custom, man?
It's a replica. Yeah. People understand these things who have cars. Is there any like antique car or motorcycle or whatever? Like, you know, people have fiberglass MG cars on S10 bodies because it's a replica. They can't afford a 1968 MG fucking badass car.
That is a good point.
They buy a replica fiberglass body.
Right. Do you remember the film Condor Man? You probably don't. There was a custom car in that, and it was actually made from around the corner from where I used to live.
Who was in that?
I've got to call him now. It was a Disney film anyway, and the car was actually made from around the corner, and they put it in the cinema where I lived.
Yeah,
and that was a one-off car that they created for the film, so it's a custom car. So they do cars, don't they? So
in this country, they call it a hot rod.
Yeah.
It's not a replica. It's not a reproduction. We didn't do a frame-off restoration on the car, right? We did a frame-off rebuild. It's a hot rod, right? Nobody. If you go to a show, they're going to say, is this original? If you go race your truck, they say, is this stock? You say, no, this is modified. You go, oh, okay, motherfuckers. Right? I mean, I'm just saying, everyone else is on. Condor Man, Michael Crawford. I know I've heard Condor Man. I can't place him.
Yeah.
Is Michael Crawford blonde? I know I've heard.
No.
No, I really don't know, but it seems like I've heard that name. It's a great name. I'd watch it just on that. Marketing 101.
It's not a good film. But
you sold me on it.
It's just the car. The car was built. I remember that film just because of that car because it was built around the corner.
Yeah.
PJ.
Yeah, I think cars are a good example. Like, look at bootleggers cars in America during the 1900s to the 30s. They were made to be badass hot cars, and they had extra suspension to carry bigger motors and to carry big loads without sagging, right? But they were made to look like your grandmother's car. So it's a custom, right? They used to call those sleepers, right? Duffman, you're from Kentucky, are you not?
Yes.
Duffman knows what a fucking sleeper car is, right? I just say
exactly.
And y'all know. So replicas, reproductions, customs, one-offs, hot rods, restorations, custom builds. You have to expand your mind, I think, away from just toys and look at different areas of.
Because we collect toys, we're talking about toys.
No, I know, but I'm just saying sometimes to answer questions, you have to fucking walk over here and look. You have to look them somewhere else. Yeah, that's all.
To get the explanation.
That's all.
Well, that's all it is.
It's all for love.
Yeah,
it's all for love.
Totally. I mean, we were talking today, and I was asking you about. I want to do a custom hot toy slave layer because I know they're not going out. So I'm going to get the body and get the head, but I want to get the slave layer clothes. That's the only thing I'm missing at the moment. I can just go and get a body and get the head.
Yeah.
The clothes, but I want to do one. That's
absolutely.
I suppose it would be a custom because you're getting a body.
Yeah.
You're getting a head and you're making the clothes.
Yeah, I think maybe some Star Wars guy who worked on the original ship might try to call you a kit basher, but there's caveats to everything.
Yeah.
I think. What is that? The bronze brassiere and bikini bottom. Somebody's gonna have to make that. That will be custom. Now, if you commission it, then
I've got a 12-inch,
or if you make it.
Now, could I take that off
do you?
And put it on?
What is it? Like a Barbie line or something? What is it?
No, it's the Power of the Force 2.
12-inch. Oh!
12-inch line. But I don't really want to take it out of the box.
Well, then you're fucking sounds like you're up shit creek. Sound like my old lady. I don't want to do this. We'll do that. Goddamn. Buy another one. Buy another one on the cheap and open it up. That's what I do. You know, I say, man, when I find a figure, me and Gilster talk about this. You find a figure that you use a lot of, like Power of the Force 2 Ponda Baba is used a lot because he has fucking cool boots. He has a nice neutral brown, everything else when you take his vest off, and his vest is like primo for every Greedo. Every Greedo that ever existed should have the Power of the Force 2 Ponda Baba vest on it, because that's what fucking Greedo looks like, right?
You're the aficionado on Michael Crawford.
So, yeah. PGM. I want to talk about Leslie Howard in the Scarlet Pimpernel sometime.
Oh.
Because speaking of superheroes and shit, and I want to say this real quick. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, Leslie Howard as the Scarlet Pimpernel, Sir Percy Blakely. That is Luthen. Luthen is Sir Percy, and that's just the fucking ultimate disguise. Hey, cat.
Hey, cat.
You're the coolest cat. Anyway, we're getting off customs. Well, actually, no. You need a Luthen as the Scarlet Pimpernel. Luthen as the art dealer / Sir Percy Blake with his monocle thing. I love that.
So, Duffman, what are you actually working on at the moment?
Yeah.
At the moment, I just finished this up over the weekend. That what I showed you. I've got a lot in the works. I've actually got to start on a couple Star Wars dioramas. I am doing a diorama for a good buddy. It's like my brother. He just got the Mythic Legion's Krampus and Santa Claus. He wants a diorama for that. I'm actually looking into making Coldbane. I picked up a Gundam kit. I've built models and all kinds of stuff as a child, cars, dragsters, boats, but I've never done a Gundam. And I picked one of those up. I'm going to paint it, and then I'm going to probably go on his show with him, the Gundam hangar, and build it. But after I build it, I'm going to use it to actually make him a diorama of a Gundam hangar. But since I don't have a Gundam and I don't know about the scale, that's one of the hardest things to get is the scaling of everything.
Yeah, because there's different sizes in the Gundams.
When you make a diorama for this gremlin, would you make that in 1/12 scale, or would you make that in 1/6 scale? Because if you think about it, in the movies, how tall are the gremlins?
The gremlin is not much bigger than that. Yeah. It's
when you buy the naked gremlins, they're not all to scale, are they?
Well, yeah. What are they to scale to? To you?
I've got Greta, and I've got Daffy there. Yeah. Now I'm sure Daffy's supposed to be smaller. I'm sure the Gizmos are smaller than the gremlins, aren't they?
Yeah, the one is supposed to be. He's the runt or whatever of the litter.
Yeah,
he's the Rudolph. They wouldn't let him play in their gremlin games, those pricks. I know who the Scarlet Pimpernel was. Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, yeah, Scarlet Pimpernel, he's a superhero, is he not? Yeah.
So, I was just going to ask what you're working on, but we know.
Oh, you know. Oh, can I debut? This is not finished, and he doesn't actually have a machete, so I'm taking that out. So, I'm into the golden age of comics and shit, right? So does anybody remember the original Mandrake the Magician and the original Luthor, who is the lost prince of Africa?
Only you.
No, Thousands Ghost and Weird Fantastic. There's some old time, but anyway, so the real Luthor, Luthor from the Defenders of the Earth is real, I guess, but in the 30s, he was an African prince, and he was the strongest man on Earth, and he saved Mandrake's life. They found each other. I don't remember the whole story, but they saved each other's life, and they became like brothers, man. But anyway, and Luthor was pretty cool because he always walked around in his leopard skin thing, and he had a fez, and Mandrake always had to be like, "Oh, he's with me. It's cool." I'm not. I'm not. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
We've lost Duffman, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do want. Speaking of customs, so like these are customs as far as I know. I I fell in love with these on eBay. These are made by a guy in Germany who me and Mark think probably work at the factory, right? But
Yeah, totally.
these are definitely, and he did some kind of special decal that's really hard to see, but he put these together. The factory doesn't make these, and I know that because I
Robot
know enough
likes
about
them.
this shit. Yeah, yeah. No, man, fucking. But anyway, so I bought these as an appreciator of basically art and shit, and this was like, I mean, I'm ashamed to say it was like $100 worth of custom Playmobiles from Germany, but like, and I don't spend $100 on anything. But when they showed me, when I saw these, you know, 5 Zouave soldiers with their fezzes and their liberty caps, I was like, so. And I look at them and display them, and I appreciate them as basically like almost as art. They're not mass produced. They're not. I go, that's so cool, And then like, I'm always looking for stuff that people do of like I had relatives that were in World War II and different shit. Like everybody's grandfather was in World War II, right? Not everybody's, but everybody's, right? And so anybody who has a custom of something like that that reminds me of my grandfather, of the photo I have of my grandfather, I get it. Uh, check this out. This just came in the mail. I found this. I don't know if this is really that cool, but so this is supposed to be for 7-inch figures, but it has this weird. I don't like it. But I want to do something for Marek. And Marek, speaking of my grandfather, right? I have my grandfather's World War II flight computer from World War II. It's not really a computer, right? It's a piece of paper that you roll. But it looks like this, and it goes on your leg. And so I did that for Marek. And of course, World War II pilots, Lobot knows this, they usually had shoulder holsters. So I made this. Because it made me, like, Marek is your fucking grandfather from World War II who flew in the P-38s or whatever, the P-40 Tomahawks or whatever your granddad did. Maybe he was in the Navy, so Marek's not your granddad. But
So JT's saying, Playmobil Indiana Jones figures. Yes, please.
Yes! Playmobil everything.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. I was going to do a Red Dead
tops.
Redemption Playmobil Village. I was going to do Valentine in
Ooh.
Playmobil.
Like an actual, which one's Valentine?
One where it's like just one street. The main place, really.
Up where the buffalo are or out in the desert?
No, up in the middle a bit. It's like the rainy bit in the middle.
Where the river is. And the
yeah.
Kind of where the river is?
Yeah.
In the center. Okay, maybe. I think I know. I don't know the names. My old lady gets mad at me because I don't know the names of shit. I just know how to go there. I'm like the Wolverine and X-Men. I just go this way. Yeah. Oh yeah, Paul. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Paul knows what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to show you and Lobot some of my grandfather's stuff. It's in storage, but anyway, I don't know. All that to me has to do with customs, and it has to do with artwork, and it has to do with collecting. Perhaps our collecting comes from nostalgia, which may be different than other collectors, right? Like Jay Leno may not have a nostalgic story about every fucking car he owns, right? He's maybe trying to complete a collection. And that's fine, because there's plenty of people who are my friends who probably are like that, and I love them. I'm not disparaging. I'm just saying, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you maybe that might be the difference. And I'm also saying I don't know if I believe all that, but I'm saying that could be, right? My old lady, who I never think listens to me, came home with these 2 foam balls, and she said, and so this is like my strong man. This is my strong man looking. So I got to paint these black. And this is like a Playmobil Gladiator. I did nothing to this except I changed his hair so he'd be blonde and sexy like me. and then I decided, oh, he's a strong man in the family.
JT,
You know?
that is a question you'd have to ask a German because I doubt it very much. Somebody likes to learn.
There's plenty of movies out there that aren't completely. There's plenty of movies out there that aren't portray them as such. You know, a lot of the good ones it's war. It's and a lot of the good ones they like. They used to tell the stories about how people would stop fighting during Christmas and shake hands and drink cocoa with each other, and like they don't want you to hear that fucking story anymore because that's about humanity, and that's not what the people who send you to fucking war want to hear. Right? I'm just saying that's. If you're running a business, that's fucking. Don't get all butthurt about it. That's just how it is, man. If you don't see it, you might need to fucking open your eyes. I don't know. But yeah, the good war movies don't make anybody good or bad, really. It makes it about either historically or the humanity of it, Because the German sitting there scared to death, whose brother's head just blew off, don't feel no different than anybody on the Allied country's side.
No problem, Duffman.
Right? No, it's okay, Duffman. It's all right. We love you, brother.
Take your time.
So I'm just saying, right? Because how many I love John Wayne, right? But John Wayne was one of the only people who made war movies during the actual war was going on. And that's because they were funded by the government and then they were propaganda to get fucking people to. And like, I like John Wayne. I think everything he teaches you in most of his Western movies are fine. But I don't fucking have to hate John Wayne because I know he was making propaganda movies to get my dad to go to Vietnam. You know what I mean? I'm taking it as what it is, and I'm not getting all fucking. I think that's an important way to be. That's what's fucking everybody up now. They can't bend with the wind. You bend with the wind or you break. That's why everybody's sitting around going, I can't take it. Like, no shit, you can't take it. You don't know how to take it. Sorry, this went from customs to like, am I frozen? Is this on?
Yeah, he's lagging really badly again.
Oh, fuck me, dude. I said some cool shit.
No, we heard you. Your voice isn't matching with your mouth. You need to sort that internet. You need to sort that internet out.
Hey, look, I'm working on it. God damn it. You want me to cancel until I get it in straight or what? Because I'll do that. Did I miss something? No. Was that a Charles Nelson Riley reference?
So, do you want to say anything else about customs?
No. Does anybody in the chat want to say anything? I said a lot of.
Anybody want to come on?
Yeah, does anybody want to come on?
I know you do a lot of customs.
I don't know. He had a lot of custom-made shit for him.
I know Blue does.
Yeah, Blue, hop on. John Wayne, I know this about John Wayne had a boat called the Wild Goose, and he had it custom made from a World War II minesweeper. I'm like, that's cool as fuck. Right? Like Jay Leno just collects cars. Fucking Steve McQueen collected cars that he had specially built. Now that's different levels of motherfucker right there. Right?
Duffman's trying to get back on, but it's not. His device isn't connected, so.
Well, tell him to not worry about it because we can wrap it up. I feel like I'm preaching.
We're going to get out of here soon, I think.
Don't yawn, Mark. You're not being a very.
I'm not yawning.
Not selling the show here.
I'm not yawning.
I love you. I thought he yawned. I like John Wayne. True Grit was a great movie. Also, the remake. Yes, read the book, JT. The book is much more like the remake, but it's much more. There's much more hardcore shit because they can't show real shit no more. Yeah, let's have a John Wayne stream. Anybody? Y'all get a hold of me on Instagram. Y'all are great. Hit the like button. Check out my videos. I just uploaded a couple. Check out Marc's videos.
Yeah, I got thrown out of game today, so go check that
Fuck
out.
No. Game?
Fuck game.
Fuck game. Hello to Brett in the chat. Hasbro. Hey, hello to Jen in the chat. Fuck Hasbro. All right, play your little. What are we playing now? Can we play
I'm
some
not saying
butts?
it.
When is your new
I know you're
outro
trying
coming
to
out?
meant to say it. No, I'm not saying
Okay.
it.
Jacob is getting old, Mark. Sorry. I love you, Mark. I love all you.
I love you too.
All you people. I said you people. What do you think of that? Motherfuckers cancel me. I love y'all. All right, Mark, play something cool. No, it's okay, Duffman.
Don't worry, Duffman, don't worry.
We're gonna do it again. We can do
Okay,
this. Top actor. Yeah, that motherfucker know how to dodge a bullet too, didn't he? I mean, what he caught one, but it was not. That might not have been. I don't know. He might have been like, "Get me in the meaty part." I don't know, y'all. That was just as suspicious as every fucking thing else they've ever done.
You know, the
biggest
customizer out there
Uh-huh.
is Hasbro.
No, it's Elon Musk.
Hasbro.
It's Elon Musk.
They just use the same mold to repaint over and over again. And
That's kit bashing.
Same old shit.
That's
over
kit
and
bashing.
over again.
That's kit bashing. That's not the same thing.
And they put it in a different box and said, it's like shitting in a box and saying, here, have that.
And
people will buy it.
That's kit bashing, though, Mark. That's not customizing. That's kit bashing.
It's shitting in a box.
Yeah, and it's not good kit bashing. That's the difference. There are good kit bashers out there who do great shit. You know?
Yep. Cheers, everybody. We're going to go.
Love y'all! Hey, Mark, you're the coolest, man. I appreciate you. Everybody out there for stopping by. It was really great seeing everybody. Sorry I'm not up on the chat. Cut us out now.
See you next week. What we're going to talk about next week?
I don't know. We'll talk. Let's not commit right now.
Well, does anybody in the chat want to put a topic forward for next week?
Yeah, but we're not going to commit right now because Lack's gonna.
Yes, we are.
Has to talk to you. No, Lack's gonna talk to you off air because that's what professional people do. Mark, I'm giving you the Winston Churchill.
Who's fucking professional?
I heard you were, but I have my doubts.
Professional at what?
What did Winston Churchill say? We will take them by land, air, and what's his quote?
Take them up the ass. I don't know. Anyway, see y'all later.
Jacob, wait till we get the rope. Jacob, we have us.